By this time next month, the rumors about a new, larger iPhone will be put to rest. By next year, if those rumors hold true, we'll also have the supersized 12.9-inch iPad alongside the regular 9.7-inch model and the mini. It is a product I don't fully understand, but there are scenarios in which a bigger iPad is truly better. It's not the first time we've heard the giant iPad rumor, and it won't be the last, either. If you listen to analysts and supply chain snoops, Apple is always building a 12- or 13-inch iPad, but have never delivered one. Apple soothsayers tend to hedge their bets by predicting delivery sometime next year. I do believe Apple is working on something larger, but then again, the company has a history of testing all kinds of design variations. There's no guarantee anything will ever make it to market. This time, it's different, some industry watchers will say. Most are pointing to the apparently calamitous dip in iPad sales. Apple is a tablet leader, a brightly blinking beacon for the rest of the industry. This sales slide has set off a lot of hand-wringing and near panic for tablet market watchers. It does not matter that Apple is still selling well over 10 million iPads every single quarter. If Apple's tablet sales trajectory is not pointing north, some observers think there's doom ahead for all tablets. But if you believe, as I do, that Apple's product development decisions are not driven by temporary market fluctuations, then there must be another reason for the Uber iPad. Let's be more productive. There was a time when iPads and other tablets were marketed as consumption devices. Thin, lightweight and almost nothing but display, they were perfect for watching movies and TV shows, playing games, reading books, magazines and email and casually browsing the web. You may have noticed how, in recent months, the tenor of Apple's iPad ads have changed. It is increasingly focusing on the productivity and creativity aspects of the iPad driven largely, of course, by the apps running on it. In one new spot, for example, Detroit activist Jason Hole uses a collection of apps, including Prezi, a very visual and fairly easy-to-use presentation app, to express ideas, organize and motivate. Earlier this year, Apple and Tim Cook wholeheartedly welcomed Microsoft Office for the iPad to the App Store. I suspect that enthusiasm was in large part because this is how Apple wants people to see the iPad, as a do-it-all device. The problem, when people really want to get things done, they still turn to laptop computers and their keyboards. That's not necessarily a problem for Apple, as it sells a very successful line of MacBooks, including the super-thin MacBook Air. Apple may believe, however, that a larger tablet will attract more productivity workers to the platform. With its recent push into the enterprise, a 12.9-inch iPad could align well with the needs of large-scale business. J.P. Gounder, VP and Principal Analyst for Mobility and Devices at Forrester Research, agrees. He said we need to stop looking at the tablet market as a whole and consider scenarios. Enterprise is one such scenario. The enterprise market is growing more rapidly than the consumer market, Gounder said. Does that growth align with interest? Certainly, there is something alluring about a truly big screen tablet that is still light enough to tote around the office without getting arm fatigue. Isn't that what the 13-inch MacBook Air is for, though? Its display is a tad larger than the rumored Uber iPad and weighs just less than 3 pounds. A 12.9-inch iPad might weigh considerably less, but it also lacks critical productivity features like a keyboard, built-in mouse, multiple USB ports and a South Dakota card slot. Certainly no new iPad would add any of those. Making a viable TV alternative. A larger iPad don't automatically translate into greater productivity or success. Since 2014, Samsung unveiled two 12-inch tablets, the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro and the Tab Pro. I have never seen one of these devices in the wild. Creative Strategies president and longtime industry watcher Tim Badger called the pair moderately successful, but noted that, as Android devices, they are not particularly friendly to productivity. Nevertheless, Badger owns one and is pleased with it. I take it all around the house and into the yard when I am watching a game or some type of video. I have trouble believing that anyone would buy a 12.9-inch iPad as a mini TV alternative. At home, most people are watching TV on their big screen HD TV, perhaps with a smartphone or tablet on their laps as a second screen. However, Forster S. Gounder told me this scenario is not as unusual as I think. We have research that shows people do not take their consumer tablets outside the house, he says. That is, in part, because of the rise of the phablet. Apple will almost surely join in the phablet trend next month, and as Gounder puts it, phablets are, sort of reshaping the future of the tablet market. The rising popularity of 4.7- to 5.5-inch smartphones may be dampening enthusiasm for 7- to 8-inch tablets. The screen sizes are simply too close. Gounder thinks consumers may prefer an iPad with a larger screen at home, a phablet for the road, and a laptop or larger all-in-one for work. Thinking outside the iPad box. Even in the home, there may be a place for the 12.9-inch iPad. But if Apple's real goal is productivity, they have to do something more. Instead of shipping a 12.9-inch iPad in 2015, Apple should introduce its first hybrid, an Apple iPad that comes with a detachable keyboard. This isn't a new idea. Many longtime iPad users have, at one time or another, used a Bluetooth keyboard with their tablets. My Logitech ultra-thin keyboard has a slot for the iPad mini. Since the slot is closer to the midpoint of the accessory, it don't make the iPad look like a laptop. We already have a good model for the hybrid tablet strategy, Microsoft's Surface Pro 3, a laptop and tablet as clothing. It runs an x86 CPU and handles full-blown Windows 8.1